Musically.
Hello and welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How's your week going? Was your weekend good? Is it off to a good start? I hope it is. I would say that my weekend was good. My week is off to a good start. So I really can't complain, right? I can't complain at all. So anyway, um, thank you all for joining me. This is the 61st episode, right? So thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. And this episode is entitled, Would You Date or Marry Yourself? And or marry yourself, right? A self-reflection. I mean, we all know how important self-reflection is, right? So anyway, y'all know before I get started, I have to absolutely do my spiel, all right? So you should be liking, subscribing, sharing across all platforms. And y'all, thank y'all so much. And y'all know who y'all are that share every single week. I really, 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 really appreciate you. All right, so boom. Now on YouTube, y'all, come on. Now, at this point, I probably really don't even have to say it, right? But anyway, on YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period. You got to put the period. If you don't put the period, you're going to be somewhere else, okay? Now listen, y'all. The forum, the group is popping. Come and join the group on Facebook, and that's Relationship Soup Group. All right. Now, if you want to follow me, as Relationship Soup LLC. On IG is Relationship Soup, and then, of course, for your greeting card needs, hit up the website at relationshipsoup.com. All right. Hit it up. Okay. Greeting cards. Okay. Boom. So anyway, like I said, y'all, thank y'all so much for joining me. In this particular episode, we're going to talk about, would you date and or marry yourself? And I know most of y'all probably like, hell yeah, I would do it, right? And that's all good. That is really all good. But truthfully, how many people really do a self-reflection before they get with somebody? I was just having a conversation with somebody today, and we were just they were just telling me, about some of their experiences or whatever. I mean, and of course, me being head of Relationship Soup, that's who I am. People divulge things, and then you have friends and stuff. But anyway, so we were just having a conversation, and it's like, if people really took the time to reflect before they got with someone, and even with that, because even in that reflection, you would probably love yourself, grow, within yourself a little bit better? What if people actually did that and had the attitude of, I'm going to leave this person better than I found them, right? How different would relationships be? How different would our experiences be? Have you ever thought about that? But anyway, so today, like I said, we're going to dive into self-reflection, green flags, and personal growth. Y'all know that I'm all about growth. I've been on this healing journey, as I've been very transparent about. So, yeah, that's what we're going to dive into today. And of course, we're going to stir the pot. I got from the principal's inbox, okay? We're going to find out what group members actually had to say about this as well. So, anyway, and yes, I will have the true false game today. That's just what we do. So, hopefully, the goal of this particular podcast, as with any, is self-reflection and growth, right? That's part of it. All right. So anyway, let me go ahead and get into this thing, right? Now, think about this for a second. What's your communication style like? Are you at the point where you can communicate with somebody? Or are you just kind of used to how you communicate with self? Does that make sense? Think about that for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and put this question out here, right? So the question really is, would you date and or marry yourself? I'm going to go ahead and put that in the comments right here. And feel free, y'all know how we do, to go ahead and answer that. So would you date and or marry yourself? And let me add an element to that because I also added this element in the group. Also, would you want your child, right, or children to marry, to date or marry someone like you? Date, marry someone like you. All right, boom. So that is in the comments, y'all. All right, that is in the comments. So let me know what y'all think. Would you? Would you want your daughter to bring home somebody like you? Would you want your son to bring somebody home like you? Would you? Can you be honest about it? All right, boom. Oh, and y'all, let me say this because, of course, after every podcast, I do actually review it. I just don't leave it out there. And I wanted to make a correction because I saw a mistake that I made. And y'all probably knew what I meant, and you might not have even caught it. But if you did, on the last podcast, I said I was giving, I was just talking about my dad. I was ending the podcast, just my gratitude. And I meant to say I'm pure, not perfect, right? It came out all backwards. And I'm sure it's because, I mean, I still get emotional about my dad. And I probably will for probably the rest of my life until the Creator delivers me from just being able to have to get through it. I know I'm always going to get emotional about my daddy. When I get emotional, sometimes it just throws some things off. So I meant to say I'm pure, not perfect. So if anybody was looking at that and was like, what? What you talking about? That's what it is. All right, boom. So, all right. So what y'all think? What y'all thinking? Okay, I see some comments out there. What's up, Lisa and fam? Absolutely. What's up, Derek Norris? What's going on? What's going on? How are you doing tonight? How's your week? How was your weekend? How you feeling? Talk to me. Let me know. I did put the link in the comments. So if you want to get in here in the studio, come on, get in here. Let's talk about it. All right, boom. Okay, so boom. Let's talk about this, y'all. All right, so like I said, how often do you stop and ask, would you marry yourself? Would you date yourself? And then even if you are in a relationship or marriage, do you do a self of knowledge of self? Or do you ask those questions? And you pray like, okay, Lisa, what you talking about? So let's look at this. So there's green flags, right? That you should look at and consider when thinking about, would I date myself? Would I marry myself? Or even if you want to put yourself in, you know, the person I'm with, do they still think I'm dateable? Am I moving like I'm dateable? Am I moving like, I'm somebody that they should be married to? All right. I mean, I just think it's good to do that. So anyway, let's look at some things. Let's look at some green flags. And we've talked about a lot of these in past shows. I'm sure that you've seen these in conversations, right? In conversations in other platforms or whatever. And, again, like I said, I'm about self-reflection and growth, planting seeds and positive things like that. So boom, emotional maturity or maturity, however you want to pronounce it, right? So, can you communicate without shutting down or blowing up? Let me ask y'all this. Have you ever dated somebody or been married to somebody that shuts down? Like you be trying to have a whole conversation. And look, y'all forgive me for laughing because this is like kind of serious. But y'all comments be cracking me up. And I've talked about this on the last podcast. So let me ask this again. Emotional maturity. Do you have that? Are you emotionally mature? Can you communicate without shutting down or blowing up? Are you the type like, hey, every time somebody brings something to you, and we're talking about, in a dating situation, marriage. I mean, this could be applicable to friendships, family ships, or whatever, right? Can you communicate? Do you? Right. So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to think about it. Hold on. Derek says, I would be okay with the old me, but the current me, not so sure. And that's fair, Derek. That's fair. Right? You have to be open to the changes that you go through in life. Because I feel in life it's kind of like this. It's not always, you know, this. And if it is, show me how it can always be like that. Nah, I don't want it to be like that because I appreciate this. Daniel Artest, what's the science? How's NYC? Lisa, what's the mathematics? listen, listen, hey, I'm trying to figure out this 1 + 1 + 2 equal 2. You feel me? This 1 + 1 equal 2. You know? Is that what they're saying now, Daniel? Is it what's the mathematics? Math was never really my favorite, like subject, right? I did better in science, but math, I don't know. Once it got to that calculus, I was lost. All right, so Derek says, I went to my niece's college graduation in Kentucky this weekend, so it was real good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Wait a minute. It's graduation already? Dang, it is. It is coming up. Well, congratulations to your niece. And look, Derek, you should go to the website and get a congratulations card. I got them for college students and some weddings and stuff coming up. Go to relationshipsoup.com. Hook your niece up. She deserves the best, right? So I'm glad that was good, right? Y'all know I'm all about education. I support it, right? So how was my weekend? Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, my weekend was good. My mother's making progress. Oh, and she continues to say thank you to everyone for your prayers. We actually went to the doctor, and I promise I'm gonna get back to the content, y'all. My mom and I actually went to the doctor last Friday, and when I tell you that my mother's progress was a chef's kiss, that's exactly what it was. The doctor was so impressed with her, and like she has made so many strides. She doesn't need her oxygen anymore. That flu is a flu, right? I have talked to a couple of people that have gotten that flu, and it's bad. And so basically, what happened? The flu really, just caused some health problems with my mom. But is she good now? My mama is, in one of my favorite words, she Gucci. I'm Gucci right now. She's thriving. She's healing. All of that. So y'all, thank y'all so much for your prayers. I really, really, really appreciate it. All right, boom. So what y'all thinking? What else y'all think is on this list that would make you a great partner? That would make you dateable or marriable, right? All right, consistency. That's another thing, y'all. And some of y'all out there, right? And I'm gonna get on myself, right? Because hey, I'm gonna be all the way transparent with you. I ain't gonna lie to kick it. Consistency. Do your actions match your words? Do they? Are they matching up? Right? Have y'all ever dated someone whose actions didn't match their words? Their words be like, I don't know, Don Perignon or something, right? But their actions is like, what was that wine in the bottle? What was it like? Don, what was it? Box wine, right? I'm just making up something. Not that box wine is bad, but I'm just saying. Like, have you ever dated someone whose words didn't match their actions? And are you that person? Let's just be honest. Are you that person? Now, nobody's perfect. Nobody's saying be perfect 100% of the time. Like, if you can be perfect 100% of the time, kudos to you, right? So, anyway, are you self sufficient? Are you? Okay. And we're going to get into this true false game here pretty soon, y'all. Um, so, do you depend on a relationship for happiness and fulfillment? Now, we've talked about different attachment styles and things like that. And, there's a style. Like, are you an anxious attachment where your happiness totally depends on, and, I'm just kind of adding some things. Hey, I'm not trying to make what I'm saying perfect. to match exactly what an anxious attachment style is. Some of those individuals tend to really depend on their partner. Some people can be very codependent. Are you codependent? Right? Do you depend on a relationship solely for happiness and fulfillment? Do you? All right. Okay. I see y'all comments. Dwayne Wagner, how are you? How have you been? Thank you so much for joining me. You know I appreciate it, right? And if you want to get in the studio, I did post the link. Let me go ahead and show this link, y'all. Here's the link right here. If you want to join me in the studio and come and ask some questions or whatever, feel free to do that. But Dwayne, you know I really appreciate you. All right. All right. Now, this is another one. Okay. And it's a fine line because I'm telling you, I'll be up looking at YouTube and different stuff like that. And some of the advice that's given, it really seems like it's games or it's passive aggressive. So, which leads me, do you communicate directly? Are you a communicator? Are you passive aggressive? Are you? Do you play games? Are you able to really communicate how you feel? Like, are you the kind of person that's like, yeah, I'm fine when you're not? And then what does that lead to? That can possibly lead to, and again, it's a case by case, y'all. I'm speaking on my experiences as well, and just conversations that I've had and knowledge that I've acquired. Right. So sometimes you be like, yeah, I'm good, I'm Gucci, I'm fine, but you're really not, and then it breeds resentment. Okay, that's not good, and you really can't be mad at your partner because you ain't tell the truth. You didn't tell the truth. Okay. All right, so let's see. Derek Norris, I've been inconsistent lately. That's one reason. And that's real. That's real. You know, it's important. Even look at where you are in life right now, right? Do you want to take on a partner? Are you able to? And it's different for everyone, okay? It's different for everyone. I'm not saying telling you to take a partner or not to. And it's really going to depend on, who you're with, okay? So, I mean, that's fair. And see, doesn't that feel good, Derek? One thing about you that I really can appreciate is that you, from my experience, communication with me, you keep it real. You keep it 1,000. And you're very transparent. Like you don't lie to kick it. And I think that's a beautiful thing. All right. So y'all look at this. Do you have self-respect and boundaries? Do you? Do you respect yourself? Do you have boundaries? Are you at a point where if you feel like somebody's mistreating you, will you leave? Because I think it's really important to do these things, not necessarily well to look at these things, to look at self, to do a self reflection, because it's not just about another person and how you move in with them; it's how you move in with yourself. Because how many times have you lost yourself in a relationship? Have you ever lost yourself in a relationship? I can be honest and say I can raise my hand. Yep, I have. I've lost myself in a couple relationships before, and I ain't mad at it because at the end of the day, I'm growing. I'm learning. I am still growing. I am still learning. So that's something to think about. You really want to do a knowledge of yourself so that you can move accordingly. You know. All right, so another one is generosity and kindness. Are you kind? Are you kind? Are you generous? Are you? Because there's some people out here that ain't kind. They ain't nice. And it might be you. And so, wouldn't it be important to kind of address that? And, one thing I want to say as well, like, because a lot of us are on a healing journey. A lot of people that I've been crossing paths with, like me, we are all on this healing journey. So you don't necessarily have to be perfect, right? I don't even think perfection exists on this side. I don't. So it's not to say that if you are in a healing process, you just need to do, I'm not telling you what you need to do. You do what you want to do. It would be a good idea to do a self reflection to see where you are. Okay. Do you show up for your partner or just when it's convenient? And that's honest. Do you? Accountability. Ooh, goodness gracious. Accountability. Do you take accountability for your actions or are you the kind of person that's just going to blame it? I think it was a song called Blame It. Y'all remember that? Was that Jamie Foxx's song? Anyway, so are you blaming your partner? Do you take responsibilities or do you blame everything else but yourself? Do you take responsibility? That's really important. Let's see here. So Dwayne says, I'm learning to be more open on how I'm feeling. Absolutely. And that's another thing like that I've noticed that's a popular that's it's popular, I would say, among people that I've crossed paths with and even some of the different stories and reels I've looked at on social media. Sometimes it's really hard for especially men to be open, right? It just is what it is. There could be various factors, conditioning. Because men are taught, some men, and let me just put that in there, some men feel and have been taught that they can't be open. They have to be closed. They can't show emotions and all of those different things, right? And how is that good? And I'll say, especially among black men, right? Black men have it even harder, in my opinion. The ones I've crossed paths with, and my observations, think what you want. But I feel that there's a lot of brothers that have it harder. They don't have those support systems that some of us have. I know I have a counsel, I have a support system, and I think with some women we've been taught, hey, let's go ahead and talk to somebody, right? Therapists, homegirls, mama, daddy, whoever, right? Let's see here. Hello, beautiful. Accountability is vital. Hi, Mark Lee. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you. I put the link out there. So feel free if you want to get in the studio, feel free to do that. Mark also says live podcast on racism and Duke Hospital take place. Oh, that's app. You know what, Mark? I know that you be multitasking during my show, and I appreciate you. Absolutely. I bet that's a good podcast. Send the link. Send the link. I might have to look at it later. All right, boom. So y'all, all right. So these are some more questions and insights. Now, what about are you just do you just bring your fine self? Let me say that again. Do you just bring your fine self? Is it all physical with you, or do you understand energy? Okay, because let's just be real. To me, I feel like energy is everything. It's really important. Energy is really important. So, are you just bringing how fine you are, physical? What's your energy like? Do you bring an energy that people are drawn to? Do you? Are you magnetic? Or like are you do you have behaviors that complement your energy, that make you more magnetic? Are you constantly complaining? Are you constantly gossiping? Are you just like a negative person? And I'm not saying that you can never be negative. I'm not saying that at all. Is that mostly you? Right? All right. Another thing, baggage. Whew. Erica Badu made a song about it. She made a whole song about it. Baggage. What's your baggage looking like? Because let's just keep it real, y'all. And that's what we like to do in relationships too. We keep it real. What's your baggage looking like? We Stuff happens. Childhood happens. You know, bad relationships happen. Bad things happen. So what's your baggage like? Have you even unpacked it, or is it back in your closet somewhere? Right? I see y'all. Thank y'all so much. Halo, I didn't pull it up. That's all right, Halo. Feel free to come in the studio if you want to get in here. Yeah, come and join the conversation. I definitely want you in this conversation. Let me see here. Can I post that link again? Boom. Halo, I just posted the link again, so feel free to get in this room. All right, so are you carrying unhealed wounds? Is that what you're doing? And here's the link too, right here, Halo, if you want to get back in here. You want to get back in here this week. Okay. Um, Dang, Derek, your comment came up quick. I do have an energy people are drawn to, but people on social media might not believe that. But listen, what's important is what's in real life. I'm not saying that social media is not important. I'm also saying that what do you bring in real life? And everybody don't have the trained eye to see you, Derek. That's another thing. Like I know that everybody don't have the trained eye to see me, and that's okay. That's okay. That's all right, right? Because if I love you, it matters. It matters to me what you think, especially if I love you, right? So, all right. So, like, do you punish partners for things your ex did? that happens. I've been in a situation like that, and I'm sure that I've done people like that. I ain't gonna lie to kick it. My intentions are good. Again, like I said, I'm pure, not perfect. Now I have, elevated more. I'm in a better place in life, and like I said, I'm gonna talk about me in a minute. We're just gonna kind of go through a few of these points. So do you punish people for what your exes did? Or do you live in the past where your ex can never live up to these? I mean, where your current can't live up to exes, right? Have you looked at that about yourself? Just saying. And I see Halo is in the studio. I'm gonna put you on in a minute. Another thing, do you like yourself? Now I have that. Do you love yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you enjoy your own company? And if not, how can you expect someone else to? Okay, that's just real. Do you need constant validation? Are you secure on your own? Okay, are you? That's really important. And then another thing, and I know that Dana, she was on our show a few weeks ago. As far as sexual chemistry versus emotional connection, are you all about the sex? Is that where you at? Or are you into emotional connection? What are you more focused on? And you can keep it real. Keep it real with yourself. You can lie to the world, but that mirror cold-blooded, baby. That mirror cold-blooded. It is. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bring Halo on. Go ahead and bring Halo in this room. Hi, Halo. How are you?
All right, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm good. I'm blessed. I feel great. Today's a good day. Halo, and I've been doing a lot of work. Like, I'm very transparent when it comes to the work that I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of work. And I tell you, the piece that I have been able to tap into, this is a piece that I can truly say that I have not experienced a lot of my life. Because for me, I've always loved God. I ain't gonna turn this into no sermon. I've always loved God.
Right.
But the place that, and I say the place that he played in my life, even the God within, right? It was mostly me. You know how people say, more of God, less of me? It was more of me and less of God. I'm just being real because I'm a very logical person. There's things that have happened in my life where, I felt like I had to be a perfectionist. I felt like I had to take control. I got to, let my logic, put on my logical hat, my survival hat. And I actually would take God out of a lot of my decisions, how I moved, people I dated, how I felt about self, decisions. I took God out of it. And by the grace of God, everything worked out. Everything, what Romans 8:28, it worked out for my higher good. I'm just saying, just this new way of moving in this journey. I have such a peace in this moment. I'm standing now in this moment that I cannot say that I've consistently had.
And I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I think a lot of us have experienced that. You know what I mean? Where we don't put God on the back burner, but I realized our relationships. And I'm gonna give you a jewel.
Give me one. Hey, give it. Is it a diamond or ruby? What we talking about?
All right, so most of our relationships reflect how we treat the Most High God.
That's real.
Okay, so like if you find yourself feeling lonely or feeling like you're being neglected or taken advantage of, chances are the Most High, you done made the Most High feel like he's being neglected, being taken advantage of, not being acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I say this all the time. The Most High God, he serves a servant.
Mm-hmm.
He obeys obedience. He submits to submission,
Mm-hmm.
and he's loyal to loyalty. And that's the behavior we're supposed to reflect with each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that.
So, yeah, so like, I look at it, and, I think our human relationships now, I'm going to get back to this earthly realm and the logical side of things. I
Mm-hmm.
get I get how people feel like you know they want to run away from themselves or not really hold themselves accountable
Mm-hmm.
because that's really what you're talking about when you say, "Can I date myself?" Well, can I hold myself accountable for the things that I do wrong or that I exhibit that people dislike? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And so that's what I see when I hear, can I date myself? Well, can I hold myself accountable basically for how a person views me?
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, I feel like I can hold myself accountable. I'm like, it's easy for me to hold when I see, because I feel like anybody that you talk to or decide you want to date is a reflection of how you feel about yourself at that time, current.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so, like when you're drawing somebody in that's either, or you're either there to teach them, because for me, I'm there to teach a lesson most of the time. When I'm drawn into somebody's life, 9 times out of 10 for me to teach them a lesson, or when I learn things in passing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that I learned from a woman is mainly not what she actually verbally teaches me, is from what I see. Like a woman is a moment creature. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a moment creation. Like a woman is a creation for the moment. What our job is, when us men learn from a woman, we are learned to be we're learning to be spontaneous
Mm-hmm.
because y'all like excitement,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
Yes, we
for
do. Some of us.
now for the woman, what y'all supposed to learn from us is how to sit still and learn how to be more tree like, be more stable. And so like I noticed that we're a lot of times we escape teaching each other these lessons though. Like
Mm-hmm.
we escape teaching each other these lessons because we're unaware most of the time.
That makes sense. Or maybe we weren't even, yeah, like you said, we're unaware. We weren't taught, weren't exposed to, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I learned this later in life. Late. And trust me, I regret learning this late. And I ain't even gonna say I learned it late because I've been in a situation and I've always known, but it's like when you deal with, okay, let's say I've dealt with women that were a lot more aggressive than I am. You know what I mean? And then I ended up being too aggressive. So like I'm an extremist. So I'm either one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either extremely aggressive or I'm extremely passive. I'm never no one way. Like I'm never in the middle. It's always I'm one way or this way.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
And so
Hey, that's all good.
yeah, so like when I do things, it's so extreme that I get misread. I'll get people will misread me because of what they're experiencing at that time from me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. And that's pretty open as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like to be vulnerable. You feel me? Like I want you to know all about me. So if it look like I'm looking like I'm going sideways, you know why. Like, oh,
Absolutely.
he done flipped the switch. So like, if you see me flip a switch, it's go because I'm like when I'm calm, I'm extremely calm. When I'm talkative, it's extreme. When I'm informational or intellectual, I'm in an extremely intellectual mood.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all concentrated. Like everything that I do is a concentrated intention.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And I think that's really important because and rightfully so, because you do have to protect your heart. Often what I found in relationships and even what I've done. So I'm not just speaking on, outside knowledge or whatever. I've guarded myself. I can say there have been relationships where, I put up walls and you know what I mean? I was not trying to be vulnerable because I'm like, man, this person's going to hurt me or this person can hurt me. So, my intentions with those in those relationships was already wrong. My motives was already wrong, right? I can
Hmm.
appreciate transparency, vulnerability, and all of that because I feel like that is what's needed, you know, and
All right,
not
let me
not so
ask you
much
a
guarding it
question.
all the time.
I definitely got a question for you.
Absolutely.
All right, so have you ever found yourself feeling like, have you ever found yourself being selfish?
Selfish.
And what was your most selfish time in a relationship?
Have I found myself being selfish? I know that I have. You know, um,
I know that, but what's your most like? But have you made yourself aware of it at the time that you were being selfish? Like,
absolutely, I have. Absolutely,
um,
I have.
okay,
I think I can think across the board when I've been selfish in a relationship. I can think of a time when I was married, when I was selfish in my marriage. Absolutely, absolutely.
you said was. I thought you were still married.
Not no. That divorce
Oh,
been, and let
oh
me tell you,
wow.
and don't feel bad because there's still family members that didn't know that I was divorced. Yeah, actually, I was going through my divorce was actually finalized a week after my daddy's funeral. Yeah,
Why did you do such a thing? Like,
we
why
gonna
did y'all?
we gonna have to talk about that off.
Uh,
I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like this. Uh, I feel like I don't feel like my marriage. I just put it like this because I've shared bits and pieces. That marriage, it came to a point. I don't feel like it was a failure. I don't feel like divorce is failure. I personally don't. I
you
feel
don't
like
feel like wait. You said you don't feel like it was what?
a failure. I don't feel like my marriage was a failure. The divorce was a failure. I think you just reach a point sometimes where, hey, you taught all you can teach, you learned all you can learn, and it's just time to go on. Because everybody, even though you walk down that aisle, everybody's not meant to be your forever. He wasn't meant to be my forever. And I know that because I know that I did everything that I knew to do, right? That I was drawn to do, that I was led to do to try to save that marriage. And it just didn't work. And that's
What?
okay. That's okay.
Let me
Sometimes,
ask.
mhm,
I'm definitely curious.
mhm.
I'm gonna give you
Now
a
this
little bit.
might be an off the record or another. This might have to be an off the podcast, a private conversation.
You know what? You gonna have to do. We gonna have to do a multi podcast where because this is a good conversation. Like,
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is.
I feel like people don't talk enough about vulnerable shit. I was married. I got divorced. Like so, like, and I had to hold myself accountable. Like,
Absolutely.
what was it necessary for me to like? Because to me, divorce is going against the Most High God in the first place. Like, and that's in my head.
And that was in my head for a long time too. And then we're gonna get back. We're gonna get back because I do see some
Yeah,
time.
I got you. I
Um,
got
and I am a very loyal person. I can say in my marriage, you know, I was very loyal because I felt like, yo, I made this spiritual contract under God, right? And so, and just knowing what I did know about marriage, they say God hates divorce and stuff like that. And I literally sat down with, my bishop because I'm like, yo, and my situation, it was what it was. And so, I had this conversation and I appreciate because my bishop is always supportive. Actually, we had went through premarital counseling and all that. So I sat down with
you.
him and I'm struggling. Like I literally was in the lowest place, the lowest place. And I remember talking to him like, hey, God hates divorce, right? Boom. And he was like, yeah, that is true. God doesn't like divorce, right? So
Right.
he went further. And so he was like, but if God can forgive David, you think God can't forgive you for getting this divorce? Because the thing is, sometimes your hand is forced. And I'm just going to leave it like that. And when my hand is forced, I got to move accordingly. Because that's another way I'm going to be selfish.
Well, no.
I'm going to be selfish and choose myself first. I had to in that situation.
Well, it just depends on the situation.
But that's why I
Because
said I'm just speaking on me. I'm just
yeah,
speaking on me.
I
And
mean,
for people that are married out there, let me just put this out there because I don't want it to like, oh, well, your podcast is tearing up marriages. No, that is not what I'm saying.
oh wow, no,
No. No, I'm just saying that I for those out there that are in marriages that are not doing well. First of all, love, prayer, and light to you, and you got to move accordingly. As far as I would say, try to get that help, try to get that therapy, talk to your bishop,
look,
counselor,
I
pastor,
speak.
whatever.
I speak on marriage on my channel too. So like when I speak on the most High, I speak on marriage as well. So I like nobody's exempt from this judgment.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not going to condemn anybody. Like that's not like, but nobody. I'm not exempt from judgment. I say this to my like to from people. I allow people to judge me because we're all going to be judged in one way or another anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So don't never really kind of like don't push it out of your mind, and then try not to find yourself trying to be pad up too many people's emotions. Like let a person like see how you really are as a person. Like don't like because I'm a person. I ain't about to just sit here and sugarcoat nothing. I'm not that kind of person. You feel me?
Yeah,
I,
sugarcoat design. We don't want to do that. We don't want to lie to kick it.
Yeah, but I ain't about to like if you get offended, you get offended. That's how you should be. If a person get offended, they get offended. Because 9 times out of 10, if a person's offended, that means you telling the truth somewhere in whatever it is you're stating. And they don't like hearing the truth. And most people don't like to hear the truth. And I get it. I was one of them people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was one of the people. I get my feelings hurt if you told me something and it made me cringe on the inside, and I'll be like, oh, shit, you don't hurt me.
And that's another thing. I think that's really good. And I see we got somebody else in the studio. A couple comments. I'm gonna bring our comments on, and we're gonna get to
Oh
this.
yeah, good.
I think it's important to deliver truth. I'm all for truth. That's something that my father instilled in me very strongly is tell the truth, right?
Yeah,
Don't
tell
because there's respect in truth. Also in delivering the truth, what I have found, people might get offended by it, but it's also your delivery too and your intention because
and
everybody's not delivering the truth with the right intentions. And I stand by this. I've said this on another podcast. Like if a truth has been revealed to you, say to deliver to me.
well,
I
yeah,
say this,
of course.
with my whole heart. I feel like this. If you feel like if your intention is to kick me down, if it's low vibrational, at the end of the day, I will always respect truth. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna feel like F you and your truth. If you're not delivering that truth, no, seriously, if you're not delivering that truth with the right intentions, F you and your truth.
Yeah,
Because
but it's supposed to be.
some people let their egos come in when they're delivering truth, and you don't have the right. You can do whatever you want. I'm saying with me, because I don't have an issue with truth. I don't have a problem because that's why I keep my counsel the way I do.
Well,
That
nah,
that
but
they're
I
going to
do
tell me
know.
the truth, but they're going to
But
do it in a way where their intentions is in the right place because they want what's best for me. Some people think, oh, I got the truth, so I can talk to you any old kind of way. No, you can't. F you ain't your truth.
But like I noticed that you kind of hold yourself back from, you'll try to pat everybody up. And then I do understand you do have to brace people. Like now I do believe in bracing people before you tell them what you about to tell them.
It
Okay.
depends because there what you're saying as far as direct and indirect. It depends. I think about the person when I deliver a truth, I'm putting myself in that person's shoes. And if I know that person, then I'm going to deliver that truth. Some people need a padding first. Some people don't need a padding first. Some people
That's
need a buffer first. Some people don't need a buffer first. For me, the way so you so as the person giving the truth, the sender, you have to assess who's my audience, who the person I'm giving that truth to, for you to be able to assess how to move. And to me, if you're willing to do that, to me that speaks volumes because that's
I
also a
mean,
way of caring for me personally.
well,
Some
you
people
should
want it
always.
direct, some want it indirect.
No, you're right. You should always be discerning, but always be graceful. Always be graceful and loving when you deliver the truth, and always let somebody know, hey, look, I have to accept this as well. Because that what you're saying as far as empathizing goes, or putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, is called empathy. And
Absolutely.
when, and
Absolutely.
when you're empathizing with somebody, they got to understand, hey, look, I have to eat this up just like you got to eat it up. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And so, like, it makes it a lot more acceptable when a person hears the truth, when they understand that, hey, look, I got this person in front of me telling me they got to eat this same truth that they giving me.
Absolutely.
And so, like, I do believe in preparing people for what you have to say, when, especially if you know it's going to be uh touch on their feelings.
That's
Like, and I
that's very
because
true.
yeah, so, like, yeah, it should be like, it definitely should be handled. Giving the truth should be handled gracefully, because it says it in the Bible.
Absolutely.
We not supposed to just deliver the truth any old kind of way, and it do say that in the Bible. So I am aware that we are supposed to, like, at some point we supposed to have gentleness and grace, but also sternness. Like, you gotta be gentle and stern at the same time when you deliver. And then
Absolutely.
you got to be loving, like, let them know, hey, look, I love you, but hey, you got to accept this because X, Y, and Z.
Mhm.
And
So
then
hold
once
that.
you, oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say hold that note because we're getting a little short on time because I definitely want to visit this, and I'm so glad. I was so glad when you inboxed me. It was like I got to be in on this conversation because you know how I feel about your mind, brother. Your mind is amazing.
I
So we're gonna
appreciate.
have to continue this conversation. So let me do this because I got another person in the studio. I got some comments and a couple things I want to cover. So stick around. I got you. Okay.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you. It's all love. It's all love, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Okay. Stick around, Halo. Don't go nowhere. All right, boom. So I really love having Halo on. Like I'm telling you, his conversations just over the years have been amazing. I feel like he delivers jewels, right? And that's so important. So boom. So check this out. So I see your comments. Let's see here. Let's see. And thank y'all so much. Check out the Rileys. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me, Rileys. I appreciate y'all. Hi, Lisa. I subbed and shared you out to my YouTube peeps. Oh my goodness, I absolutely will. I will hit the like. Give me a second though. I'll do it definitely after the show. I really appreciate you. So Derek says, I hold myself accountable and for never getting married. Laughing out loud. Not a bad guy, but I'm not settling and don't expect to be settled for. Absolutely, Derek. That's love. That's self love and that's reflection. All right, y'all. So this is one thing that I want to do really quickly. Like I said, Um, I did share in the group. Okay, so boom. I put this question in the group. Would you date or marry yourself? If you have kids, would you want them to date or marry someone like you? So Mrs. Bonner says it's important to have similar morals and values for your mate. However, in my opinion, there needs to be some balance, yin and yang, to complement each other. That's absolutely important. Genesis said, I said I wanted to date myself. Any man whose birthday was close to mine, I really did not. Listen, Genesis. Cancer men, just no. Absolutely. Rico says, yes, I'd be very grateful to have a son in law like me. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing to absolutely say that. All right, here we go. Here we go. Leah, what's up, fam? How are you? Hello, beautiful cousin. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, I really appreciate you. I would marry the hell out of myself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right? So we're gonna get in a few true false questions, y'all. I do have another guest. We're getting low on time. Um, so the question, would I marry or date myself? Me personally, absolutely I would. I would wife myself too. Absolutely. Pure, not perfect. I have done the work and am doing the work and I am open. Okay. I am open on so many levels. And, my first marriage, right? I learned so much. I learned so much and I'm still learning, right? And I made a joke about it being my practice run. You practice, you get better, right? Y'all don't just hear me out. I learned a lot. That experience, I wouldn't take it back. It has definitely made me a better person. It has. So with all the work that I've done, because I didn't even distract myself during that time. I did the work and I'm continuing to do the work. So would I date myself? Hell yeah. Would I marry myself? I would wipe me up in a minute. Absolutely. Now, a year ago, hell no. Hell no. I wouldn't. I love myself. I loved myself then, but back then, no. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Now, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. The same. All right, y'all. So let's get in a couple of true false questions, and then I'm going to briefly bring Derek on, and then we're going to get out of here, y'all, because y'all know how these Tuesdays be. All right, so let's see here. First question, and I'm going to share some resources with y'all or whatever, right? All right, so check this out, y'all. I'm going to put this question in the chat. So the first question, true or false? And just see how y'all answer these. I communicate my needs clearly without expecting my partner to read my mind. Is that true or false? It ain't no right or wrong answers. This is about you. Because again, it's just planting some seeds and some self-reflection. How would y'all answer that? I communicate my needs clearly without expecting my partner to read my mind. What y'all think? What y'all think? True? False? All right. I'm gonna put another question out here, y'all. Let's see here. Another question I'm gonna put out here. I handle conflict by listening first rather than getting defensive. Do you do that? Do you do that? All right, all right. So let's see here. This is another one. Is it true or false? Another one. I take care of my mental health and don't expect my partner to fix me. What y'all saying about that? Do y'all expect for people out here to be fixing you? What y'all think? Another question. Another question. I'm just putting these out here, y'all. Even for y'all watching it after the show. And this is something that you can even come back to. I don't make decisions based on fear or being alone. What y'all think? What y'all think? All right, so let's see here. F no. No mind reading. I feel you on that, Derek. I absolutely feel you on that. I'm definitely still here. Yes, Halo. Thank you so much. So Leah says, true and false. I tried to communicate effectively, but after 8 years, my partner needs to be able to. You saying your partner should know? Your partner should know that you want some chicken fried rice or some vegetable fried rice with no chicken. They should know that. Is that what you're saying, fam? They need to be able to read your mind. All right, so let's see here. Another question right here. This is really big. This is one to really think about. I don't let past relationships affect how I treat my current partner. Right? Do you do that? Is that true or false? What y'all think? All right. So, I don't know how you all answered these questions. I know how a few of you. Um, but it's really important to look at these because let's just be real. We can think that we 5-star all day long and you might be, but you might not be a 5-star partner. You might only bring 2-star energy, and that's really important. And I would say however you answer these questions, however you go through your process of doing your knowledge of self, make sure that you elevate yourself and you will attract better. You'll move better. You feel me? That's just what it is. That is what it is. All right, so let's see here. We got a couple minutes. Derek, did you still want to come on? I see you still in the studio. I don't see you. All right, let's see here. Are you still there? Are you still there? Huh. Okay. I don't know if that's my screen or not. All right, so let me do this really quickly. Um, Derek, nod. Do you want me to bring you on? Or are you just supporting in the studio? Nod for yes. You good? Because I can't hear you. Okay. It's okay. So Halo says it's definitely a huge thing, but I do feel like you should help heal your wife or husband. That's huge. And you know the truth is, depending on who you date, who you marry, they can help with your healing, right? I mean, I've crossed paths with people, friends, and then I can truly say that I have been in relationships where healing did take place. It did. And I'm sure that I've helped to heal people too. It can be a really good exchange. I think relationships and stuff can be a really beautiful thing. All right, y'all. So look, we only got a couple minutes before it's time to get out of here. There's a couple resources that I do want to share. There's this book called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. I've started reading that book, y'all. It's about attachment styles and things like that. Of course, there's the Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And then there's a book called Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nedra Glover Tawwab. You definitely want to check those sources out, right? There are so many resources out there. And, looking at self, I don't think that's a bad thing, and I hope that on today's show, you were able to kind of have some aha moments. And if you have any like questions, concerns, comments, or anything, DM me. What y'all thinking? Let me know what y'all feel, right? So anyway, I just want to take a moment to thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate every time y'all chime in, your comments, your participation in the group, all that. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Absolutely. So let's see here. Where else do I want to go with this? Where else do I want to go? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. All right. So let me give a shout out to my mother, my Aunt Anna, Lyric. You know that I appreciate all of you all, right? And of course, if you are not liking and subscribing across all platforms, you're tripping, right? Relationship Soup, period. Make sure that you put the period. Come and follow us on Relationship Soup on YouTube. Relationship Soup on YouTube, right? Come and join the group, Relationship Soup Group. Want to follow me, Relationship Soup LLC, and definitely hit up the website for any of your greeting card needs and all that, right? Sure, y'all got to do that. Where else do I want to go with this? Is there anything else? I'm just so grateful for this growth that is happening in my life. I'm so grateful. Gratitude for all of the people that have contributed advice, sharing your stories, coming on here, giving advice, asking your questions and stuff like that, because it has definitely contributed to my own growth. I can't even lie about that. Is there anything else? One thing, because, at the end of every show, I definitely try to share something positive. And it's definitely advice that I'm going to take myself. Always. You got to love yourself, right? And I was having a conversation with my mother, and she was saying, Lisa, make sure that you share with your listeners to don't sweat the small stuff. Don't sweat the small stuff and love yourself. That is so important. And I know sometimes when situations hit, it can seem like it's huge. But in actuality, in hindsight, it was like, man, that's small. How many times have you been doing a self reflection or you just gotten into your quiet moment and it's like, that really wasn't even worth my energy, right? That really was not worth my energy, right? And it could be even indicative of how much you love yourself, because even in loving yourself and doing these reflections, you do have discernment in different things, right? But that's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother sermon. And so we're gonna keep that in mind. So y'all, I love you. Thank you so much for joining me. Hey, hit me up, DM me, right? You got some show ideas? Do that. Other than that, until we meet next time. Peace.